Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel where I share the process of creating ball jointed dolls. It's been a while from my last video. I have been working a lot on improving my last doll. And right now I need to make silicone molds for the new doll details. I decided to make one-part molds, like this one I am holding in my hands. And I remembered that I've never actually shared with you how I make them, so this video is all about making the one-part silicone molds. You can see that essentially it's just a solid casted mold with the detail inside. Unlike the two-part mold, to take the details out of the mold you need to cut it after the silicone fully cured. For me personally, two-part mold is easier and more predictable, but after casting such a small doll I began to understand that one-part mold should work better. One of the reasons of making such molds is almost invisible seam right after the resin cast. The foot on the left is made in two-part mold. I hope you can see the seam that should be removed in the future. Both the details are not sanded, and the one on the right is almost perfect right after curing. The other reason to make one-part mold is time, because you make the entire mold at once and also spend less time sanding the detail after. However, there are reasons why I don't always make them. In every mold, the details should be placed under the specific angle to allow the air go out without it being trapped. And if I will make a mistake in placing the detail, I will need to make the mold again. Unlike the two-part mold that I can correct after. As always, I start with assembling the boxes. This time I made some changes in box construction. I rounded the corners, so I will spend less silicone for the mold. The details are placed upside down, so when the mold is done, the hole to pour the resin will be on the top. The parts of the box are cut out from the list of the plastic and assembled with the hot glue. As always, I make the molds using Moldstar 15 Slow. It's two-part silicone that will be cured in about 4 hours. And before the beginning, I need to stir it very well. Moldstar is the silicone that can be measured by volume, it's just I've used to measure by weight. After mixing, I will put the silicone into the vacuum chamber to get rid of the bubbles. And after degazing, I slowly pour it in the molds one by one. So now the details are ready to be taken out. Now the molds are ready to be cut. On this stage, the important tool is a very sharp knife. After removing the clay, I start to cut the mold. The main principle is to create an uneven cut. The more chaotic the cuts are, the better the mold will be stick together in the future. I make the bigger cuts on the outside and smaller cuts in different directions inside. The uneven cut creates the keys that will help to put together the mold without any shiftings. The other idea is to not cut the mold in two separate parts, but only to make the hole big enough to take the details out. I try my best to make the cuts in a different direction so it doesn't look neat. As you can see, making this kind of mold doesn't guarantee the safety of the detail inside. There is always a chance to scratch the surface, that is why I'm not a huge fan of this kind of molds. You can also use the fork-shaped knife that will help to avoid cutting the detail inside the mold. But there is always a chance of damaging, not like in two-part molds. In the end, I will show you the test resin cuts that I made to check if the molds came out okay. So I don't see any bubbles or defects and the seams are almost invisible on the sides. This is the new resin that I've got recently. It is Task 3 from Smooth On and it has differences with Smooth Cut 305, not only in material but in cast process. I plan to do casting in my next video, so please subscribe if you don't want to miss the resin cast with the new material. I will be also happy for you to comment about your experience in mold casting. And also please like this video if you enjoyed it or find it helpful. So see you in the next video, have a nice day, bye!